Hi everyone, back again with another Startron video. This time we're in version 0.72. I'm going to take everyone through a bit of a long play and hopefully it will update a lot of the things that I was showing off last time but have probably been changed in some way, as well as presumably a bunch of new concepts. I'm not going to be able to remember what's changed in the last 32 versions, but yeah, you'll presumably see them along the way. So we'll start off with a new game. Generate Cosmos. So, for those of you who haven't seen Startron before, I've just generated a new Cosmos and I'm flying around my little ship here with the arrow keys, or WS and D. I've just had a transmission come in, flashing up the top there. I can open that with R, and that's my little Cato command, I suppose you could call them. Never really thought of a name for them. Maybe that'll come in a future version. Yeah, basically introducing you to what to do, and the last thing they're saying there, go to Space Dock 1 in the Catus system, which is where I am at the moment. So obviously I'm in planetary view at the minute. I'm flying my little spaceship around, and I can see there's all sorts of stuff on the surface down at the bottom of the screen there. You know, I'm flying over Gomia Moor, I'm flying over grass, I'm flying over Lithogen liquid, and stuff like that. So this isn't going to do very much at the moment because this is my home world, and it'd be a pretty boring space game if you just did everything on the planet that you started at. So the idea is that I'm going to zoom out with a key which I've just noticed is actually not shown on the user interface. It is on all the other planets. I think that's an omission of mine. I'll fix that before it gets released. So now I'm in system view, and I can see the planet I was just orbiting there, Catus Prime, and as it moves around the sun, which is the glowing blue thing on the left there, I will follow it. They intended for me to go to Space Dock 1, which I can choose with the little red arrows in the top right on the yellow panel there. So I can choose Space Dock 1 and press space or G to go to it. So off I go. So I'm now orbiting Space Dock 1, which, as they said, is their heliocentric space station. Everything is heliocentric, too complicated to make things orbit each other for such a simple sort of game, so that literally everything, moon, planet, space station, rock, anything orbits the sun. So, yeah, going into that. So now I'm in the equivalent view to where I just was on the planet. I'm in body view again, but it's just to show me the space station. There may be more things to do in this view on space stations eventually, but for now it's literally just to fly your ship to one of the ports on the side and then go into it. So I'm inside the space station now, and yeah, obviously one major change that I can remember is that it used to be 2D in here, now it's 3D. I can walk forwards and backwards. The 3D engine does allow me to do more than that, but for the purposes of a glorified user interface, there's no point. So it's just forwards and backwards and these little on-screen prompts. So the transmission's changed at the top. I've had a little message to tell me I need to get some crayons, juice, fluff, sunlight cups, and soft metal. I am apparently carrying some of this anyway. Well, some other materials, but this is on top of that I'm going to need for the rest of the story checkpoints, so we'll get rid of that. So, I mean, I can walk around this space station, I can see various things. There's the cosmic database here, lots of information in there. Not a lot of it's too useful, but it's kind of... I suppose the guide at the end is quite useful if you don't, if you get stuck. We've got the part shop, so presumably there's things I need to buy in here. I need sunlight cups, so let's have 4 of them. That's what they said, yeah. So I have 2 soft metal. I can see I've already got 5 there in the middle, so I need 2 more of them. And I think the rest of it is sold at the bar, so I'll come out of that shop. I'll wander over to the bar. If I know what letter it is that I'm going to, I can press the letter. You see you've got highlighted the letter C in the middle of that prompt, and that will take me straight to it. So for the bar I know that it's B. If I press B it will take me straight there, or I can walk leisurely around if I'm so minded. So I can go to Lepton's bar, and I needed juice and crayons, 2 of them, and fluff. Right, so now they've noticed and they're saying, yeah, cool. Now let's go find something valuable. Something that sells. So obviously I know what sells, but you know, it might be an idea to have a mooch around the shops here, figure out what you could sell for a high price that you can also see on the planet's surface and easily get out. Obviously you're only going to be able to sell raw resources that you've mined, because you're only going to have a mine at the start. You're not going to be able to do anything like refining or factories until you've gotten a bit more money. So we'll just find something that's a valuable ore, and in this case I'm going to go for gomium ore because it's the most valuable ore, I think, possibly tied with Subalt or something. Anyway, yeah, so there's not much else to talk about in here. I suppose, yeah, I could talk to some of the bar patrons. Pressing T will just give you a little bit of extra information. Some of it's useful, I suppose, some of it isn't, some of it's just silly. There's a little gambling game in there as well if I wanted to waste some time. I don't particularly want to play that at the moment, although I have managed to win a few rounds and actually up my money at the start of the game a couple of times, which amused me because I'm terrible at gambling, but I'm going to skip that for the minute. Sometimes on the right there, depending on the space station, there'll also be a little arcade machine just under the TV. Plays a version of, what is it, Asteroids. I think I've shown that in a previous video, so I don't even know, I can't remember the criteria for finding those in the solar systems anyway. So yeah, I think I've got everything I need in here. I'm going to go and walk to the door by pressing L, and then leave. So back on my ship. So now I'm going to zoom out, and right, so there are no, I can see in the top right, there are no other planets or moons in this system. I could build on these four like asteroid rock type things, because if I go down to one and then zoom in, you can see there is landmass to build on, but for what we're trying to do at the start of this video, it's not really any help to do that. That's more for like later on. I think if it doesn't already, I think eventually I'll probably have it generate more valuable minerals on asteroids so that it's like worth making a mining colony there for the difficulty of doing so. But for the minute, it's not really worth me doing that, so I'm going to go find a moon or a planet. So I've just zoomed all the way out to the Cosmos overview, and that allows me to see essentially the galaxy that we're playing in, and right in the center, for convenience sake alone, is the Kata system where you always start. And in that system I was just seeing, yeah, there was only one planet and I can't build on my home world. So I'm going to go find a different planet, or a moon around one of these other solar systems, around one of these other suns. So let's have a look at this one. And navigating around the Cosmos overview is literally just the same. It's arrow keys or WASD, and you'll go to one of the systems at the ends of these four lines, four blue lines, and they're indicated by green arrows to show you which one you'd be going to. Seems obvious enough, but because they can go around corners, it's not always apparent which arrow key you should be pressing, so that's why those little green arrows are there. So let's go into that. Right, there's a bunch of stuff in this system. We have a space station as well, some rubbish, and what's this? That's a gas giant, another planet, another planet, another gas giant, another planet. So, I mean, I'm just going to check each one. Let's have a look at this one. So I'm on another planet now, flying around. I'm not seeing any gomium ore on this side of it. But a feature that I realised I didn't really elaborate on in previous versions is that flip sides thing you can see at the top of the bottom left box. So if I press F, I'm on the opposite side of the planet now. Either way, there's still no gomium ore here, so I'm not really interested in this planet. Let's find the next one. What have we got on this one? Oh, what's that? Oh, that's like gomium ore. There we are, there's some gomium ore. So this is as good a place as any to build my little mining colony, which is what they're trying to tell me in the transmissions to set up. So, first thing I need to do is probably plonk down the mine. So yeah, I've got all the resources that I need to do so, in the top left. Oh, I should say what I've just done there is press U to open the build menu, and that allows me to press Control up and down to cycle through these buildings on the top right. So yeah, it's mine. Let's put that on the chunk right at the end, at the top there. The reason I'm doing it at the top is because all industries will always output their materials north of where they are, so it's best to do things at the top of scenes like this. So I'm putting my mine down. There I can see my mine just next to the ship there. I've got an incoming transmission, so let's get rid of the build menu and open that. So we've got a mine, yeah, cool, and it's telling me build a dwelling and a sunlight absorber and some conduit and road to connect them. So typically you would build, you know, your dwellings on one side and then a road, and then on the other side a conduit and your sunlight absorber. I'm going to build it in a slightly different configuration just so that I can take advantage of the resources they provide for the next building up in the chain that I'll be building later on in this storyline. So I think probably putting a road there and there is what I was after, and a conduit there and there and there. So if I build a sunlight absorber, so all of the resources they had me collect at the start were literally just so that I could build these like sunlight absorbers, dwellings and mines. Anything else you want to build, you're going to have to go and buy or dig up and create. So let's put a sunlight absorber down. And I can see the conduit is powered now. If it's flashing, it's powered basically. And I'll put a dwelling on that side. Now the dwelling has no people in it, so the road isn't doing anything, and I can see at the bottom there it just says dwelling. So I need to go into my cargo bay. So that's the wrong one. That's the bridge, incidentally. I pressed B, I don't know why I pressed B. Cargo bay is C. So in here I can see I had some slots where I had some things a moment ago that I was carrying. I have some glass left over, and I have 25 life forms on board. Life forms later on will be a more complicated process. You know, there'll be hotels and recruiting and things like that involved, but for the moment they're all, you can freely acquire life forms at bars in space stations, and you start with 25, which is more than enough for anything you really want to do. So they're pretty basic at the moment. But either way, I'm going to beam one of these down to the surface. I was over the top of the dwelling while I did that, so it will go into the dwelling. And I can see at the bottom there it says occupied dwelling, because that's where I put him. And yeah, there's a bit of a demonstration of that. You can see the little people going down the roads there. The direction that they're travelling is irrelevant. It's just an animation to show that the road is inhabited. It doesn't actually mean that they're going in that specific direction. But you can hover over the roads with your ship to see how populated they are. So they'll start off on a road at 3 people, I can see at the bottom there, and then go down 1 each square they go. And a mine only needs 1 person's worth of people, what am I trying to say? People to make it work. The same sort of rule applies for conduit as well. It starts off at 400 power from a sunlight absorber, goes down 100 each time it moves, and the mine will cope with that. There is information on what's required to make industries run in the database in the space stations. So either way, the mine is running, and I can see that it's plonked out one of these little gomium ores onto the surface just above it, or north of it should I say. And my Cato command people are talking to me now. So yeah, cool. We're making stuff come out of the mine. So I'm going to sit here and try and beam these up, and I want to beam probably about 50 of those up, because I'm going to need to sell them. In a bit I will make them do something more complicated than that, but for the moment I'm just going to grab them so that I can sell them to do other things. Yeah, I don't suppose there's anything more I need to really say there. Anything else is probably in previous videos. So bear with me while I beam these up. You can see them coming in at the bottom of the screen. For those of you who don't know, if I had a storage yard built just above or just north of this mine, the gomium ore would be going into that. But I want to save that for after I've processed the ore later on, which I'll sort out. So let's leave the planet now. I've got 50, get rid of them. Conveniently enough, there is a space station in this system, which was the thing I forgot to check for, but we have one. Let's go in there, and let's find where you can sell, I think... Ah, no, here's a thing, there's an add-on shop here. This is slightly different from one of the shops that was there a minute ago. You either get a parts store or an add-ons shop. And the add-on shop basically lets you buy little extra things for your ship, or like change the colour of the thrusters on the back. Obviously I don't have any money for this at the moment, but it's just something I've forgotten to show people in the past. Basically an exterior manipulator allows you to grab like space debris that are floating around the solar systems, and you'll get resources. There's like a little it's like a loot tree for each of those. And an integrity field emitter allows you to go through wormholes, so that could be quite useful if if you were to buy that and then go and have a nose around all of the wormholes in the galaxy, because there are usually a fair number of them. You can go into them, maybe find shortcuts between certain valuable things that you were trying to do. Maybe you find a pirate port somewhere and you need to quickly get back to a planet somewhere to buy or sell things, so it can be useful to use the wormholes, because moving around the Cosmos screen is considerably slower than it used to be, just for gameplay purposes. And yeah, the other ones, as I say, are just colouring the thrusters. I'm not going to buy any of that. So let's get rid of that and go into the scrapyard, I believe. Yep. So we need to sell all of the Gomium ore. Let's get rid of all of them. Okay, got a fair amount of money now, so let's have a look at what I needed to build. I'm just going back to the planet now, provided I can remember which planet it was. Is it this one? No, it's not going to be that one, it's going to be this one, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Must remember Lauga 4. So I can make a note of that if I open the captain's log, which is just the little tilde key next to 1, or the grav key, depending on which side of the pond you're on. So let's just make a note of my 4. Okay, and I need to build a refinery, which is going to take 4 hard metal, 2 soft metal, and 8 conductors. So let's have that. Metal, 2 soft metal, 8 conductor. And I also need to build an up conveyor, which is going to take an extra soft metal, an extra conductor, and a metal plating. Okay, I think that's probably sufficient. What are the little Kato command people trying to tell me? Get a few blah 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 blah. Yeah, well, they're trying to tell me to do that anyway. Cool. And then if I wanted a yard, right, that's another bit more complicated beyond that. So let's just get the refinery sorted. I have a funny feeling some of that is actually only for sale in the parts shop. Yeah, I might have to go to a different system anyway. Yes, I do. Okay, fine. So I need to go and find another... Well, conveniently I'm right next to the starting system, so we'll just use theirs. So I need the parts shop in here. And what do I need? 4 hard metal, 3 soft metal, 9 conductors, and a metal plating. Cool, so let's get rid of all that. Okay. And back to our system, Lauga. Right, so in here I need to build a refinery just there. Why can't I build that? Did that not? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I've got a refinery and they're telling me great. Keep in mind refinery takes more power. Yeah, which is why I've built the solar array, the sunlight absorber near the refinery and just allowed the current to go down to the mine because the mine takes less current than a refinery. And then I need an up conveyor belt as well, so if we get rid of that. Okay, so now yeah, there we go. So chunks of gomium ore are coming out of the mine, going up the conveyor and going into the refinery now. Now I've just noticed as well, there's actually pollution being generated by the refinery, and that's these little flashing squares, and that is going to kill the people in the dwelling there. In fact, it already has. So I needed to make my dwelling a little bit further away. What's the best solution to that? What does a dwelling cost again? A fair amount. So for the time being, let's try and get rid of... I may have already screwed myself here. So I need metal plating, fluff, crayons and juice. So let's make a note of that in a minute. 3 more glass, 2 metal plating, 1 fluff, 2 crayons and juice. So that dwelling is useless, so if I get rid of that, and let's have some more soft metal for a road. If I was to put a road there and the dwelling there, I'm going to guess that will be 3, 2, and then 1 for each of them, which should be enough. Okay. Right, so yeah, I've managed to kill the people that were living in the dwelling and can't just keep putting people in because they'll just keep dying again, so I need to go and buy stuff for another one. However, I don't have a huge amount of money. I've only got 180 chits, I can see at the bottom there. So, I'm going to sit there and try and mine some gomium ore manually, which takes considerably longer, but is now necessary because I can't actually power the mine to make it myself now. Really should have thought this through before recording a video. But anyway, I mean, this is the sort of thing that the game's all about, figuring the systems out. It's been that long since I've played it like this that I forgot there was pollution, I forgot how far it went, so there you go. So let's go for 25. It's about as long as I can be bothered to wait for that. Right, so that's 25. Let's go sell that and try and buy all the stuff for a new dwelling. What did I need? 3 glass. 10 metal plating. Yeah, that's expensive. Great. Oh yeah, I didn't actually sell my stuff there, so let's do that first. Sell the gomium ore. I could sell a gomium bar as well. Okay, that's a bit better. So, what was it? 10 metal plating, so I need another 9 of them. Right, so, doing a bit of maths, that probably means I need some gomium ore. Let's go and get that. That was the wrong button. Mine, not destroy. So annoyingly, I'm probably going to have to wait until I get 50 Gomium ore here. Just to sort of get, I think it was about 1,000 that gave me. So it wouldn't be so bad if the mine was just working anyway and going into a storage yard, because then it would be collecting all of this while I was working, but I've really managed to scupper myself at the start of the game there by killing off the people in the dwelling. So don't do what I just did. I'm going to try and get this to the point where I'm making enough money that I can buy the equipment to build one of the new superstructures that is coming in version 0.72. I'm going to try and build a terraformer, and the goal of this is to recolor this planet, I don't know, red or something, maybe grow some more trees. Once I get there, I'll end the video, but got a bit to go yet. Right, okay, that'll do. So, back we go. Get rid of all of that. Okay. Parts. So I needed 10 metal plating and I had 6. Okay, right. So I just need 2 soft metal now, 2, and some things from the bar. What is it? 1 juice, 2 crayons, and 1 fluff. Okay, I think that's all good. Let's get all that. Just realised I'm probably selling stuff in the background there. That's probably not very useful. No, that's alright. Okay. Maybe this time when I put a house down, I won't kill the people living in it. So, in theory, I can put a road there, and a dwelling there, and this time when I teleport someone into it, they might stay alive. Occupied dwelling. They are certainly doing things. Yeah, and I can see the miners working again. So if I start collecting those... So this time I'm now collecting Gomium bars, so this will sell for more and I don't have to collect quite as many to do anything else. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Okay. So, when a pollution square is next to a dwelling, it kills the people in it. So I probably needed to move that even further away. Probably what I need to do is just build a dwelling for the refinery and for the mine, and then they can't do that. So either way, we've got some resources there. So if we make a note of what we need to do that again, I need 8 glass, 20 metal plating, 2 fluff, 4 crayons, and 2 juice, as well as presumably more road. So where am I probably going to put it? If I was to get rid of that and that didn't give me anything too useful, did it? No. So I'm going to need 1, 2 roads, lines, and then a house, and then probably 1, 2, oh, okay, 3 roads. So 6 soft metal. Let's go do that. Hopefully I just have enough money from selling the Gomian bars. To the scrap shop. Gomian bars. They sell for a bit more. No, it's not going to be enough, is it? Okay. So we'll get what I can. What do we need? I suppose I could get the mine going, maybe, and then just suck things up from there. So if we did half of each of these, 10 metal plating, which is already not enough. So this is the point in where you might consider using the Space Jack gambling table and avoid having to do all of this when you inevitably do what I did. Can I collect that one at the very least? Yeah. So, back to mining manually again. So what I was trying to do with the difficulty curve on this one is what you sort of see with realistic space exploration, where everything's incredibly difficult to get going, and then, you know, once you've built your bases, maybe things are a little bit easier. Which might explain why we haven't been back to the moon in 60 years, or whatever it's been, 50 years. So I was going for that. Obviously it doesn't make for a very good video, but I said this was going to be a long play anyway, so as I say, I will do a shorter video as well to explain some of the other concepts that are going on in a little bit more easier to grasp concept. This is a bunch of stuff I'm skimming over, like the cargo bay, the bridge, engineering, and things like that. It doesn't do a tremendous amount at the moment, but it's still there. People can play with that. Right. So, scrapyard first, sell all of that. Okay, so it's going to be a couple more metal plates, 4 glass, 2 fluff, and 2 soft metal. Right, so that'll probably do for the minute. So let's change these. 4 soft metal remaining. I keep accidentally selling stuff in the background. Right. 1 juice, 2 crayons remaining, 1 fluff, 2 plating, and 4 glass. So that's to get the refinery going again. Hopefully this time I don't mess it up. Third time's a charm. Alright, so this time I want to build my dwelling down here. So let's have a road and a dwelling. And yeah, so the pollution that's radiating 2 squares around the refinery will not be able to reach that. So if I go to my cargo bay and beam a life form into that dwelling, maybe this time he won't die. So, or she, let's beam those up. So obviously that's a lot quicker than mining it myself, which is the idea. So what have I got money-wise? Some. Okay, so 50 should be enough this time. If I just get 50 more Gomium ore, that should be enough for another 2 roads and another dwelling, and then we're good. And then from there, I have a nasty feeling I just need to do it again to make the people who are going to supply the storage yard, because they will also be under the pollution if I build them anywhere nearer. So let's go sell that. The idea with this was that it was supposed to be a bit of trial and error as well. You could sit there and sort of work it out if you knew all the processes and wanted to calculate all of the money and things. It's not really how I play games, but I'm aware that people enjoy doing that. Sometimes I like to do that. Sometimes I like to freeform it. So sell all that. That's a bit better. Right, so now if I buy my metal plating, 10 of them, and 4 glass, soft metal, and bar things, 1, 2. Oh, I don't have enough for crayons. Crayons are well expensive. Right, okay. Need to get a little bit more money. Howdy. So I think I've just realised as well, I think the bar, the TV is probably, yeah, the TV in the bar is now telling me about pollution concerns because I killed some people. If I hadn't killed some people, maybe that would have been better. I need to sell that. So the ore. And buy one of them, and one of them. Right. So this time we can get rid of all of that in there. So yeah, once upon a time you used to be able to run most of this colony off of one dwelling. Now it seems you probably need about 3, so it makes it a bit more important to get the pattern right of the building placement and also decent money coming in. So let's have a road and a road and a dwelling and have some people in it. Alright, so they're flowing along there to the refinery, and now I should be able to suck Gomium bars up. There we go. Alright. So this time, I think if I get 50 Gomium bars, then I'll probably have enough to build the storage yard and a dwelling. Maybe. We'll see. I suppose one thing I could do, actually, is just... there may be some kind of complicated pattern you can manage where if you use the conveyor belts to move the stuff around a bit, you can share resources. Because I could probably move the resources coming out of this refinery to the right by 3 and then down a bit and have the storage yard down there, and then I could share power from the conduit and people from the dwelling next to it. But, you know. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. Refined resources will always take slightly longer to produce than just the raw ones. So obviously this number is getting to 50 slower than if I was getting 50 ore, just because there's an extra tick on the refinery when it goes in. Okay, so what does a yard need? 2 soft metal, 1 hard metal, 8 conductors, 4 valuables, and I will also need an up conveyor, which is another soft metal, and a metal plating, and another conductor. So that's getting the refinery to there, the yard rather. So if the yard was there and I had a road there, which is another 2 soft metals, so that soft metal, and then the people are still too close, so I need another 2 soft metal. So 2 roads, a dwelling there, and then a dwelling again was, that's 11 metal plating now, 4 glass, 1 crayons, and 1 juice. So, and then I also need conductors from that sunlight absorber, so that's just 2 extra conductors. So I may not have enough money for this, but I actually have a supply of Gomian bars coming in now, so I can actually probably afford this stuff. So we'll go out and see what we can buy. Right, so soft metal, 7 of them. Nope, need to sell my stuff first. Get rid of all of that. That's a bit better. Right, 6 more of them. 1 hard metal, 11 conductors, 4 valuables apparently, and meta plating apparently, 11 of them. Let's get everything else first. Fluff. Right, so it's just 11 metal plating that I need. So how much can I afford at the moment? 4. So all told, it's going to be whatever that is, 7. Yeah, I'm terrible at mental arithmetic. 7 metal plating. So in the meantime, to go and get some more Gomian bars. Just readjusting my keyboard a minute. Right. So get them. I'm gonna guess probably about 30. Okay, off we go again. Good job you don't have to pay for fuel. That's something I don't really like in space games. It just seems to ruin it, in my opinion. Because then you're constantly budgeting for things. You might as well go and play Kerbal Space Program or something if you want that. What am I trying to do? Sell stuff first. Get rid of that. And buy 7 more metal plating. There we go, wonderful. Right, get rid of that. And leave this space station. Right, so what did I say? We wanted to build probably the yard there, and then 2 roads, and then the dwelling, and then 2 conduits, and a conveyor. Let's grab that. Okay, that looks like it's not working because I haven't put anyone in the dwelling. So I'll put someone in the dwelling, and now we've got Gomian bars going in, and another transmission. Wonderful. Got there in the end. So now we have a permanent off-world colony, come back and collect stuff, blah 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 blah. So I think that's probably about the end of the little story mission that I've got in the game at the moment, but that is now collecting Gomian bars in the yard. So if I leave it on the planet's surface for a bit, just so that it can like tot up the amount that's going in for a moment, if I leave the planet it should generate, or it should continue working even though the actual industry is not loaded in memory. So I'll let it take over for a moment. So if I now leave the planet and go have a rummage somewhere, so I want to, for what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to terraform this planet to make it red, for argument's sake, and grow some trees and grass. In order to do that, I need to get a terraforming device, and in order to find a terraforming device, I have to go and find the blueprints to do so in a pirate colony, in a pirate's space station, and in order to find the pirate space station, one would have to find a pirate. Now, pirates in this are basically any ship that's flying around that isn't you. So I basically just want to fly around and find a little pirate at the moment. Later on, the ships will be, they'll be like friendly and pirates and other random things like that, maybe traders and things, but for the moment they're all pirates just to make it simple, because I haven't really done much with them. So I've just managed to find the Beep Bop homeworld. Okay, there we go. Didn't expect to find that in this video, but there we go. The homeworlds will do more later. I don't believe it does very much at the moment. If I go into it, I can probably do things here, but they probably object to it, so I'm not going to. But yeah, that's where the Beep Bops come from, which are the little people that look like the robots on the left there, whereas the Catos look something like a cat. There is a Lintorian homeworld as well as 2 other races which are not in the game at the moment, but they're alluded to in some of the lore. They'll be coming later, they'll be more important for some of the superstructures. So for the minute, there's no pirates in here. Still rummaging around. Well, that's highly coincidental, because the Lintorian homeworld is right next to them. You could put money on that. Oh well. Yeah, same deal. Literally just the homeworld of the other, one of the other races. And there are actually pirates in this system, so yeah, it doesn't do very much, but it's the pirate I'm after. So there's a pirate zooming around. The pirates will, they'll fly around between different things, just to sort of simulate that it's somebody doing something. If there was traders, which I probably will add eventually, they might, you know, fly from planet to planet and space stations and things, and actually have an inventory that they're storing, which goes up and down. Maybe you can trade with them mid-fly and things like that. For the moment, they're just flying around randomly. But I've just managed to find the Easter egg Westeros as well. Fair enough. Never know what you'll find. So I want to talk with this guy, so we'll go into the bridge. So there's the pirate on the main viewer, and we want to try and hail him. So we'll hail him, and no response. Why are we getting no response? Probably because I haven't finished the stuff going on here. You can see if I try and beam in and out, it just says coming soon. So what I actually want to do is what you used to have to do, where you try and enter them, and because it's someone else's ship, they will send you a transmission that says, Yar, you can't do that. And if you try and do it again, if you go out and then enter, it will say if you're looking for fortune, you need to find a space station around a dead star or a wormhole. It used to be black holes and wormholes, but I actually found that sometimes you could generate a cosmos that had 0 pirate ports in, so I've made it include nebula as well. So dead stars, either black holes or nebula, or wormholes. And then when you're there, you need to ask for Captain T, which is a little bit of a clue, which we'll get to. So yeah, that's enough of that. Let's go find a system which matches that criteria. So it's got to be one of these systems that's like on an arm that has nothing else attached to it, like this black hole one down here. So we'll go into Rimu. Rimu, it is a black hole, but it has no space stations around it, so I can't actually do anything anyway. So we'll go and find another one. It may require a bit of rummaging, so we'll have a fly about and see what we can see. This one has one. So yeah, around a black hole there is a space station here, and in here, so everything looks as though it's a normal space station. It will still have either a parts shop or an add-ons shop, and it will still have a bar, and it will still have the scrapyard as well. But if I go to one of the databases, I can see that it's been corrupted by the pirates, and if I go through it, there's information on the superstructures, which are the things coming in 0.72, version 0.72. So it's the terraformer that we're after, and I basically need to build that. So I need 4 biospheres around a garden with conveyor belts pointing into it. So let's go figure out what that all costs. And I'll build it on the world that I was on, so if I can find that system again. So while I'm here, I'm just going to flag that system as red. That'll do. Oh, I should mention actually, let's go back into it. While I'm in that space station, every pirate port will also have an additional shop, which you can get to by pressing the T key, which is the clue they're trying to give you there. Ask for Captain T. So there's a pirate shop in here, and they sell some other things, and also sell for different prices. Some of the useful ones are plasnon canisters and lithogen canisters. Plasnon is quite valuable, difficult to get hold of. Lithogen is not so difficult to get hold of, but it's common enough it would be annoying to have to set up like a whole refinery and mine and extractor and stuff just to get that, because you do need it for certain things, but it's not like important enough for certain things. It's everywhere. It's meant to be like the water of the cosmos lore. So anyway, that's that shop. Let's come back out. Go and find my little planet. Let's flag that one as green, for want of a better colour. I'm just flagging them with F there down at the bottom left, so let's go into that. Find my planet. You can see as well, each planet has a little rating up in the top left, because I'm generating stuff. I've got production going on. I think I'm getting a slight tourism rating just because I've got so many dwellings on it. And you'll get science for having labs and biospheres and gardens and things as well. So hopefully, now that I'm in here, what have I got in my cargo bay? I have one Gomium bar. I've just left the planet for a while, and hopefully the little collection mechanism has worked. So if I collect all, yeah, there we go. I now have a bunch of Gomium bars because it was just processing all of that while I was away. So that's a lot of money, that'll do. What do I need for this terraformer? I need what's it going to be? For 60 transparent plating, 20 metal and 12 juice, and then for the conveyors, they're all the same recipe regardless of direction, so it's going to be 4 soft metal, 4 metal plating, 4 conductors, and then a garden, which is one of the expensive ones. 5 seismic powder, 2 lithogen canisters. Yeah, so that's one that you can't buy in, that's what I was just saying, you can't buy them in other ports. You'd have to go to a pirate port, but if you don't know where one is, you would have to just generate it off of a planet, which is, you know, kind of a waste of a mine. I think it's an extractor, actually. Yeah, it's more annoying, so you might as well go and find a pirate port and get it that way. 50 cobron chunks and 4 metal. Okay, while I'm here, get some more of that. Yeah, there's a bunch more. Okay, so let's come out. Yeah, and you can see my production routing's gone way up now just from the amount of stuff that I was just generating on the surface there. So, let's go... let's go up to the pirate port. Can probably get everything I need there. Do the lithogen canisters first. 1, 2. Get rid of that. Seismic powder and metal. Is there anything in here that I need? Doesn't look like it. It's probably the scrapyard, I think. 5 seismic powder. 1, 2, 3, 5. 50 cobron chunks. Oh, yeah, I need to sell my Gomium bars. That's enough money to buy add-ons for ships and things. Right, that's enough to play with. What was it? Cobron chunks, 50 of them. 4 metal, not for sale in there. Yeah, I think the rest of that's for sale elsewhere. So, did the seismic powder as well. Right, so 24 metal. 4 soft metal. 4 metal plating. 4 conductors, 60 transparent plating, that's expensive. Okay, and 12 juice, I think. That's probably us. Right. So yeah, obviously, you know, fairly expensive thing to do, but it is one of the large sort of end game things that I'm trying to build here. So if we go off and try and build that, Just deposit it down over here somewhere. Conveniently enough, the superstructures don't have to be powered. I may change that at some point. I'll see how they go. It's just they'd be a bit fiddly to do that. Yeah, biosphere. Why doesn't that work? Biosphere? Can I not build that? No, it's just that spacebar. Okay. Okay, and then when I build the last biosphere, this little pattern that I've generated transforms into a terraformer. And I can see now, if I get rid of the build menu, that if I fly my ship over the center, I get interface appearing on the left. So if I go into there, I have a little interface, and I can change the color of the planet. So there we go, it's now red. I can grow some trees if I hold down the T button. It will put trees everywhere. If I hold down the G button, it will put grass everywhere. Not a particularly useful thing to do, but you know, you could beautify a planet like that if you were so minded. As I say, it's one of the sort of end game things. So yeah, there we go, built a terraformer. All that from a little mining colony over here, where we had some pollution problems earlier. And yeah, if I zoom out, yeah, the planet has changed colour to be red, and I've got stacks of Gomian bars to continue with. So yeah, that is probably about all I need to go over at the moment. There is obviously more to it than that. There are the other superstructures. There's things to go and find, various Easter eggs, there's collectibles on all the planets and things. I don't think I've ever legitimately actually found one of them, but you know, if you were rummaging around the solar systems enough, you'd see them. That being said, I will have gotten one from the pirate shop. So if I go to the bridge and then to the ready room, yeah, I have a little pirate flag just there. So there you go. Yeah, I think that'll probably do for the minute. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.